Hey guys, Logan Balboa here, and welcome back to my Rocky series. Once a month, I will be reviewing a Rocky film lead up to Creed 2 coming out in November. I already reviewed two Rocky films, the first one in, I believe, April, and the second Rocky film in June. And in this month, July, I will be reviewing Rocky 3, the second Rocky film to be directed and written by Sylvester Stallone, who also stars in this film. So anyway, this film starts off right where the second one starts off, very similar to what the second film starts off right where the first one ended. And this one is about Rocky Balboa after winning the Ultimate title against Apollo Creed and being the heavyweight world champion. He falls into a hole and finds himself picked up by a former enemy known as Clubber Lang, played by Mr. T. So like I said, this is the third film in the Rocky franchise, and it's once again written and directed by Sylvester Stallone, who also stars in this movie as Rocky Balboa. And it's a very good film. Is it as great as the first one? No. But neither was the second Rocky film. It wasn't as great as the first one, but it's still very good, and I can say the same thing for Rocky 3. The only difference between this film and the second Rocky film is that this film takes a different turn, a different direction, or a different path that puts Rocky Balboa on. We get a story here about Rocky Balboa facing not just Mr. T, who in this film beats Rocky Balboa and becomes the new heavyweight champion of the world, but also get to see Rocky Balboa losing the loss of his mentor, Mickey, who dies from a heart attack. And you get this one heartbreaking scene where Mickey dies, and you see Rocky Balboa crying in tears and begs him to not leave, and that was just a heartbreaking scene. It was a beautiful scene, and it was a very great, but also heartbreaking scene. And after that, we get to see Apollo Creed, excellently played by Carl Weathers, trying to put Rocky Balboa on a path that he once was, be the best that he is as a fighter. And it's a very good story about Rocky Balboa being trained by his former enemy turned friend. And the friendship between the two is very good. And the training montage with him and Apollo Creed, that was a very good a montage. And even though you've seen it before, it's quite different, especially with Apollo Creed training with Rocky Balboa. Sylvester Stallone was excellent as Rocky Balboa, and Carl Weathers as well as Apollo Creed. And Talia Shire, she has a lot to shine, especially this one scene where she and Rocky were standing on the beach and she wanted to have a talk with him, and they both start getting into a fight with each other, and you see Rocky Balboa admitting that he's afraid, and Talia Shire, Adrian, was like, trying to put him trying to make him put into his own place and try to encourage him to be the fighter that he is and was after being beaten in the first Rocky versus Clubber fight.
You didn't push him into anything! He was a grown man and he did what he had to do! And you have no right to feel guilty for what happened. You don't! You were a champion, and you did what you were expected to do, and you did what I and everybody else thought you should do. And you want to tell me that those fights weren't real, that you were carried? Well, I don't believe it! It doesn't matter what I believe, because you're the one that's got to carry that fear around inside you. Afraid that everybody's going to take things away. Afraid you're going to be remembered as a coward. That you're not a man anymore. Well, none of it's true. But it doesn't matter if I tell you. It doesn't matter, because you're the one that's got to settle it. Get rid of it. Because when all the smoke is cleared and everyone's through chanting your name, it's just going to be us. And you can't live like this. We can't live like this. Because it's going to bother you for the rest of your life. Look what it's doing to you now.
And that was a great scene. It's probably my favorite scene in the entire film, Rocky 3. Now let's talk about a Clubber Lang, played by Mr. T. If you thought that Apollo Creed was the ultimate trash talker to Rocky Balboa in Rocky 2, he's like less threatening compared to Clubber Lang. You really hate it. You really love to hate Clubberfish Lang because he makes so much of this trash talking to Rocky Balboa. He even in one scene tries to say some trash talk to his own wife, and you see Rocky Balboa lose it and tries to come after him. This is the one fighter, Clubber Lang, that really gets under your skin, and you just can't stand him, and you want to see Rocky Balboa beat him to death in the ring. And in the second fight, or the rematch to the Clubber Lang and Rocky Balboa fight, Rocky Balboa did. And it was a very good fight scene. Honestly, this film felt like an action Rocky Balboa film than a boxing film, even though it does have a lot more boxing. So, now let's get into the issues I have with this film. Polly. The one opening scene, not the exact opening scene, not the very opening scene, but the opening scene after that, the one scene that has Polly trying to argue with Rocky Balboa, he got on my nerves in that scene. Tries to do something very bad to Rocky Balboa, and he really got on my nerves. But anyway, that's one of my issues with the film. Another issue I have with this film is the very random wrestler versus fighter scene with Rocky Balboa and Thunderlips, played by Hulk Hogan. That was a very random scene, and it had nothing to do with the main story of this film. It just felt like an additional scene that was put in the film, and it was unnecessary. This is one of the fewest scenes that could have been taken completely out of the movie. It was unnecessary. That's about it, though. I didn't have very much issues with the film besides the one opening scene with Polly and the very random fight scene with Rocky versus Thunderlips, played by Hulk Hogan. Other than that, this film, I will say, is on par with the second Rocky film. Although this one is different than Rocky 2. This one takes a different path for Rocky in terms of, Mickey's death and other things. Apollo Creed training Rocky. That's very interesting. I'm going to give Rocky 3 a gold Medal of Honor. So anyway, guys, that is my review for Rocky 3. My next review in my Rocky series is going to be for Rocky 4, and it will be up sometime next week. So be on the lookout for next month's review for Rocky 4. And also, I have more reviews coming to you this week, so stay tuned here on my channel. If you guys enjoyed my review, please click the like button, and if you have already watched this film, comment below and let me know what you think of it. If you enjoyed what you've seen here and you want to see future videos from me, please press up there to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. And I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great week, Battle Squad, and as always, fight the good fight.